I'm not sure if you've heard, but FC Barcelona have a new president. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean the debt has gone away, and a lot has to go right in the boardroom, and a lot of players have to be sold for any summer transfers to happen. But that hasn't stopped the papers and social media from pushing rumors all over the internet. I know the most common comment on this video is going to be, Barcelona don't have any money to spend, don't worry about transfers. And at the present moment, you're right. But, and this is the big but, if Laporta and his new group are able to sell some players, lower wages, and rectify the short-term debt, then 1 to 3 players on this list might just be possible. But how likely are they? That's what I'm going to try to answer here as I grade each of these transfer rumors and try to figure out if they could even happen at all. The last caveat I will add before we begin is many of these transfers depend on Messi's future, so do keep that in mind. And by the way, hi, I'm Dan Hilton. This is a Barcelona Podcast, YouTube exclusive. The name that we should start with is the one that is in the news at the moment. Erling Haaland is a goal-scoring machine. There is definitely a contingent of Kool-Aids that don't think he'd be a good fit, and there is some overlap with those who are worried about dealing with his super agent Mino Raiola, and that I completely understand. Especially if you know you also have to deal with Jorge Mendes and Ansu Fati's contract renewal next year. Yet, there are rumblings that FIFA may be cracking down on the limitations of these super agents, so maybe, just maybe, Haaland could be just another transfer. As for if he fits at Barcelona, I did a video a few weeks ago breaking down the things that the Norwegian forward does well and why I think it wouldn't be an issue to fit him in at the Camp Nou. As for how likely I think this is to happen, I give this rumor a B. The idea that Barca want Haaland is probably an A, but the likelihood of it happening, due to the potential €100 million plus price tag, plus Barca's current financial situation, getting this one done this summer feels very difficult. I'm going to jump to the other end of the spectrum now with a player that is available on a free and most likely coming to Catalonia. Or should I say returning to Catalonia this summer. Pep Guardiola has said as much that García is as good as gone, and the former academy captain should be on realistic wages. There is certainly a contingent of people that are not impressed by the 20-year-old. He's only made 9 total appearances for Man City this season though, so I'm not sure there is a big enough sample size to judge. There was one match in September against Leicester City where they scored 5 goals while he was on the field. But opponents have only scored 5 combined goals in the other 8 matches he's played this season. It's interesting that in the same time period, he's broken into Luis Enrique's Spain squad and looked much better there for country. I'm not sure about the future of the left-footed center-backs of the club this summer, but I think even though he's a right-footed center-back, he does improve that unit, and at least for next season adds depth to a back line that will include Gerard Piqué, Juan Araujo, and likely Oscar Mingueza. Based on this rumor lingering and Pep saying as much, you have to give this an A+. Barring something unforeseen, he'll be at the Camp Nou next season, and I'd rather give him a chance based on the other appearances I saw this year instead of the one poor one. Now for another rumor that has lingered for a while. Memphis Depay from Lyon. Lyon's president, Jean-Michel Aulas, was saying in the fall that if Barcelona had the money, they would be signing Memphis Depay in January. Now that he'll be available on a free, and if Ronald Koeman is sticking around, I think the likelihood of that remains high. He's got 15 goals and 9 assists for a Lyon side that is battling in the top 4 in Ligue 1 this season. I've said before that I don't know how he would fit next to the likes of Messi if he stays, since he's best coming in from the left. So I'm not sure I see Ansu Fati, Dembélé, and Depay all working out, plus Griezmann if he isn't moved. Just too many starter caliber players in similar spots. But hey, if Koeman wants him and Barca can't afford that number 9, then I can definitely see this one still happening. The free transfer thing dictates this too. I'll give it a B+. The other name that was linked with the club via Koeman's wishes is Liverpool midfielder Georginio Wijnaldum. He didn't arrive last summer or in January, so you'd expect that he'd be a certainty to come on a free transfer this summer, right? You would have thought that, if not for the emergence of ES Moriba, who honestly does a lot of the same things as Wijnaldum, just at a much less experienced level. I think the rumors that ES's emergence has cooled the Wijnaldum chances do have some merit, so I'm giving the Wijnaldum to Barca rumor a D+, even if it was as high as an A- earlier in the summer. Next up is a name for the moment. I get the sense that an agent did his job and got a rumor to circulate around Rapid Vienna's Yusuf Demir, that every big club in the world is vying for his signature. He is a promising attacking midfielder who turns 18 in June, sure, but I don't know why Barca would go for a player with that profile when they have Messi and still Coutinho at the moment, but more crucially, age-wise, Barca don't even have enough minutes for all of Pedri, Iash, Puig, and then the likes of Nico González or Gabi right behind them. Good on his agent for getting this one picked up by ESPN, but this gets a D+. It probably would have been an F, but deals like Mateus Fernandes did happen, and while I hope this board is a bit wiser with puzzling deals, no rumored deal can truly be an F. let's get back to talking about walk into the lineup caliber players. David Alaba from Bayern Munich. Available for free? Yes. Leaving Bavaria? Yes. But affordable? I'm not sure about that. It seems like he's going to Barcelona or more likely Real Madrid to replace Sergio Ramos. But the 28-year-old's wages are pushing both Spanish sides to consider all options. I don't have to think for 1 second if he would fit or not. He's the perfect combination of Lenglet, Umtiti, and Mingueza rolled into one, and would fit perfectly next to whoever, Piqué, Araujo, you put next to him. But again, I would bet his signature to Madrid is already almost over the line, and his camp is using competition with Barca to drive up his wages as high as they can go. Barca just can't let another player dictate wages near the 18 to 22 million euro range. That's just too much, even if he slips to the rival. For that, I give this rumor a C-. I think Laporta and company will try to make sure he doesn't go to Madrid, but ultimately they make the long-term wise decision to let him walk. Let's keep the trend of free transfers up and talk Sergio Agüero. You'd think that the 32-year-old and friend of Messi is being courted to come for free in July as a bargaining chip to convince Messi to stay. Yet, most rumors about the Man City striker say that he'd come as a cheaper number 9 option in case Messi leaves, which kind of perplexes me. He's only been available for 12 appearances this year, scoring 2 goals in the Champions League. Only a fool gives up on goal scorers like him too soon, and I think this could just be an outlier of a season. But he's already had injury troubles, and they don't get better as a player gets older. Barca obviously needs a 9 with his pedigree though. I've said before that I think Garcia's wages will be the first test of Laporta's negotiating charisma, but I think Agüero coming would be the first answer to the question of whether or not Barca have taken back leverage when it comes to big-name players. Because he's available on a free and clearly needs a change of scenery, and this is probably Barca's cheapest option for a striker, I'll give this one a B. From an aging player to a younger one, we keep hearing Bryan Gil, on loan at Eibar this season from Sevilla, get linked with Barca. The 20-year-old has contributed 3 goals and 2 assists this season for the Basque side, but his chance creation is where he's made the difference. His team doesn't score much, but that hasn't stopped him from creating 2.17 chances per match, putting him in the top 10% for the Liga attackers in that category. Again, I go back to the timing of the Barca rumors. They came just as news about his Sevilla renewal were heating up. It's almost as if his agent were telling Sevilla that, hey, everybody else knows that his release clause is 35 million euros, and while that will increase to 150 if he signs this deal, maybe you should offer a bit more to him to get this over the line. What I will say is that if people at Barca think Fati is eventually a number 9, a deal for Gil starts to make more sense. But for now, I'll give this one a C-. Back to another free transfer in PSG's Juan Bernat. The 28-year-old made just 3 appearances for the French club before suffering an ACL injury that will keep him out basically the entire season. The left back has always been a serviceable starter or backup at Valencia, Bayern Munich, and PSG, and I can see him willing to take lower wages to come back to Spain and bet on himself after that nasty injury. However, with Jordi Alba still the starter in the club's eyes, Alejandro Balde waiting in the wings, and Serginho Dest's ability to play on the left with Sergio Roberto and Mingueza and potentially Emerson offering coverage on the right, I'm not sure if left back is a position that the club will address this offseason. That's also going under the pretense that Junior Firpo will be sold, which isn't even a guarantee. Because it's a free transfer and been rumored for a while, plus his Spanish connection and coming back from an injury, I don't think I can give this rumor anything lower than a C+. There were also rumors this week that Alex Collado could be a first-teamer next season, and another that Koeman is looking at Nico González as another option in the midfield, and I give A's to both of those rumors. Collado has 6 goals in the 3rd division, but has been the best player every time he's been on the field. I think the 21-year-old will be rewarded for his patience at least with a spot in the preseason. There is a lot of players set for the first team next season, but I can see an exodus opening up space for him. The same could be said of Nico González. The midfielder has played in all 3 midfield spots this year, and the 19-year-old is actually a similar player to Carlos Alenya, another player who will be fighting for a spot in what is shaping up to be a very crowded midfield next season. And now for the final rumor, concerning the man who will be making all those decisions next season. The current man in charge has certainly done enough to get another season and a full summer to continue his project. That said, the one and only non-Xavi name that Barcelona could have their heads turned by is Julian Nagelsmann, which just so happens to be the rumor. The RB Leipzig manager is just 33 years old and definitely being christened as the next big thing on the touchline. The team he built at Hoffenheim and the team he's built at Leipzig were both attacking, pressing units that move the ball well, and the different personnel between the two sides are the differences that Nagelsmann worked with to tweak his system. He's also considered a well-liked manager in the locker room who both commands respect and admiration. We'll probably hit this in the next few months on the podcast, but my impression is that even if he's the right man for the job, he may not be the right man for the moment. If Koeman has a united locker room behind him and the team is winning, there is no reason to change things in that moment. Not for Xavi, not for Nagelsmann, not even for Pep. But I'd say let's see how the rest of the season plays out, and we'll certainly revisit this again, I'm sure. For now though, I'm giving this a C-. Like Alaba, of course it makes sense, but the price and sacrifice for it may be too large at the moment. As I said at the start, this summer could be one of great change at the club, well, with a new president and all. But based on finances, I'd expect players being sold to be a much bigger part of the puzzle than a mass influx of players coming in, especially with all the young players at the club looking for more minutes. What I will say about a lot of these rumors is that free transfers being free do add some validity to these rumors. But the wage bill is still going to be a major hurdle. Messi's future is the most important domino, and how many trophies Koeman can capture may dictate if he's the one with a say in new additions this summer. In the meantime, before we even talk about transfers, Barca still have 13 games to get some silverware this season, and we'll be here for that. So in the meantime, if you could give this video a like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, that would be a big help. And as always, until next time, Forza Barca.